The Grand Hall of the Galactic Science Academy buzzed with excitement. Aliens of all shapes, sizes, and colors moved around, their tentacles, appendages, and hover devices creating a symphony of movement. Today was the start of the most important event in the galactic scientific community, the annual Xenobiology Conference. Dr. Zix9, a tall blue-skinned alien with 4 arms and large curious eyes, stood at the entrance. He felt proud. After years of hard work, he was now one of the most respected xenobiologists in the galaxy. His discoveries had changed how aliens understood life in the universe. As he entered the hall, many alien scientists turned to look at him. Some waved their tentacles in greeting, while others blinked their eye stalks in respect. Dr. Zix9 nodded back, his head crest changing colors to show his happiness. Dr. Zix9, what an honor. A small green, blob-like alien oozed towards him. It was Professor Blip, the organizer of the conference. We're so excited about your presentation today. I hear you have some interesting news. Dr. Zix9's eyes twinkled. Indeed, Professor Blip, I think today's presentation will surprise everyone. As they talked, more aliens gathered around. Everyone wanted to know what the famous Dr. Zix9 had discovered. But he kept quiet, only smiling mysteriously. Soon, it was time for the conference to start. Thousands of alien scientists took their seats in the big circular room. The lights dimmed, and a holographic display lit up in the center. Professor Blip floated to the middle of the room. Welcome, esteemed colleagues, to the 500th Annual Xenobiology Conference. His voice boomed through the hall. We have many exciting presentations today. But first, please welcome our keynote speaker, the renowned Dr. Zix9. The room filled with the alien equivalent of applause, a mix of tentacle waving, color changing, and melodic humming. Dr. Zix9 walked to the center, his 4 arms carrying different scientific tools. Greetings, fellow scientists, he began. Our galaxy is full of wonders. We've studied millions of species across thousands of planets. We thought we understood the basics of life. He paused, looking around the room. But today, I'm here to tell you that we might be wrong. A murmur went through the crowd. Wrong? How could they be wrong after all these years of study? Dr. Zix9 continued. Recently, we discovered a new planet in a far corner of the galaxy. It's a small blue world orbiting an average yellow star. But it's not the planet that's special. It's what lives on it. He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared. It showed a strange creature. It stood on 2 legs, had 2 arms, and a round head with hair on top. Its skin was different colors, some pale, some dark, some in between. This, Dr. Zix9 said dramatically, is a human. The room erupted in shocked noises. The aliens had never seen anything like it before. Humans are the dominant species on this planet, which they call Earth. At first glance, they might not look special, but as we studied them, we found something amazing. Dr. Zix9's eyes were wide with excitement. Their biology breaks all our rules. He went on to explain some initial findings. Humans could survive in a wide range of temperatures. They could eat many different types of food. They could think in abstract ways that most species couldn't. And strangest of all, they seemed to enjoy doing things that weren't necessary for survival. As Dr. Zix9 spoke, the alien scientists became more and more excited. They asked questions, made notes, and discussed among themselves. This was big news. But there's more, Dr. Zix9 said, quieting the room. We've invited a human to join us for further study. They will arrive tomorrow. The announcement caused chaos. A real human, here. It was unheard of. As the conference hall buzzed with excitement, Dr. Zix9 smiled to himself. He knew that tomorrow would change everything. The galaxy was about to learn just how special and strange humans really were. The story of how aliens first met humans began on a quiet day in a small town called Millbrook. It was just like any other day, until it wasn't. Sarah Johnson, A young woman with curly brown hair and bright green eyes was walking her dog in the park. She didn't know it, but her ordinary life was about to change forever. High above Earth, a sleek silver spaceship appeared out of nowhere. Inside, a team of alien scientists led by Dr. Zix9 prepared for their first meeting with humans. Remember, Dr. Zix9 told his team, "We must be careful. We don't want to scare them." His 4 arms moved quickly over the control panel, guiding the ship down to Earth. As the ship landed in the park, Sarah froze. Her dog, Max, started barking loudly. Other people in the park stopped and stared, their mouths open in shock. The ship's door opened slowly. Dr. Zix9 stepped out, his blue skin shining in the sunlight. He looked around with his large eyes, taking in the sights of Earth for the first time. Sarah couldn't believe what she was seeing. An alien. A real alien. She wanted to run, but her feet wouldn't move. Dr. Zix9 saw Sarah and walked towards her. He tried to smile, but his alien face made it look more like a grimace. "Greetings, human," he said, using a translation device. "We come in peace." Sarah's mind was racing. This was just like in the movies, but it was real. She took a deep breath and said, "Hello. I'm Sarah." The alien scientists were excited. Their first conversation with a human. But things quickly became confusing. Dr. Zix9 asked, "What is that creature with you?" He pointed at Max, who was still barking. "Oh, this is my dog, Max," Sarah explained. "He's a pet." The aliens looked at each other, puzzled. "Pet? What is a pet?" One of them asked. Sarah tried to explain. "A pet is an animal we keep for company. We take care of them, and they make us happy." The aliens were shocked. Keep another species just for happiness? It made no sense to them. More humans gathered around, curious but cautious. The aliens had many questions, and each answer seemed to confuse them more. They were amazed the humans wore clothes for reasons other than protection. The concept of fashion baffled them completely. When Sarah laughed at one of their questions, the aliens were startled. "What is that sound? Are you in pain?" Dr. Zix9 asked, concerned. "No, no," Sarah said, still giggling. "It's called laughing. We do it when we find something funny." The aliens tried to understand humor, but it was hard for them. They didn't see why some things were funny and others weren't. As the day went on, more misunderstandings piled up. The aliens were confused by human food. You eat plants and animals. Human buildings. Why do you need so many rooms? And human relationships. What is a friend? But the biggest shock came when they tried to understand human biology. They scanned Sarah with their advanced tools and were amazed by what they found. "Impossible," one alien scientist exclaimed. "According to our scans, this human's body is constantly destroying and rebuilding itself." Dr. Zix9 checked the readings himself. It was true. Human cells were dying and being replaced all the time. No other species they knew did this. They also discovered that humans had a complex system called emotions that affected their bodies in ways the aliens couldn't understand. As night fell, both humans and aliens were tired and confused. There was so much to learn about each other. Dr. Zix9 knew they needed more time to study humans. "Sarah," he said, "would you be willing to come with us to our galactic conference? We want to learn more about humans." Sarah thought for a moment. It was scary, but also exciting. Chance to see the galaxy. "Okay," she said, "but can I bring Max?" The aliens looked at the dog, still not understanding the concept of pets, but they agreed. As Sarah prepared to leave Earth, news of the alien visit spread around the world. Humanity was about to take its first step into the galactic community. And the aliens? They were about to learn just how unique and surprising humans could be. The massive alien spaceship hummed quietly as it approached the Galactic Science Academy. Inside, Sarah Johnson sat nervously, her dog Max curled up at her feet. She was about to become the first human to visit an alien world. Dr. 69 entered the room. "We're almost there, Sarah," he said. "Are you ready?" Sarah nodded, trying to look brave. "As ready as I'll ever be," she replied with a small smile. The ship landed smoothly. As the doors opened, Sarah gasped. The alien world was beautiful and strange. The sky was a soft purple, and two suns shone brightly. Tall, crystal-like buildings sparkled in the distance. Alien scientists of all shapes and sizes had gathered to see the human. They whispered excitedly as Sarah stepped out, Max trotting beside her. "Welcome to Xenox Prime," Dr. 69 announced, "home of the Galactic Science Academy." Sarah waved shyly at the crowd. Suddenly, a small floating robot appeared in front of her. "This is a universal translator," Dr. 69 explained. "It will help you understand everyone." The next few hours were a whirlwind of introductions and explanations. Sarah tried her best to answer the aliens' many questions. Some were easy. Yes, all humans have two eyes, while others were harder. No, I don't know why we yawn when we're tired. Finally, Dr. 69 led Sarah to a large, white room filled with strange machines. "This is where we'll conduct our studies," he said. "Don't worry, nothing will hurt." Sarah lay down on a soft table. Max sat nearby, watching curiously. The machines hummed to life, scanning Sarah from head to toe. As the results came in, the alien scientists became more and more excited. They gathered around screens, pointing and discussing rapidly. "Incredible," one alien exclaimed. "Look at the complexity of her nervous system." Another alien was studying Sarah's digestive system. "Fascinating. Their bodies can break down such a wide variety of substances for energy." Dr. 69 was particularly interested in Sarah's brain. "The neural pathways are unlike anything we've ever seen," he muttered. "So much potential for growth and adaptation." As the initial scans finished, the aliens had even more questions for Sarah. They were amazed by human abilities they had previously thought impossible. "You can regrow skin when it's damaged?" one asked in disbelief. "Well, yes," Sarah said. "Don't you?" The alien shook its head. "Our species replaces damaged parts with synthetic materials. Natural regrowth is extremely rare in the galaxy." Another alien was puzzled by human sleep. "You become unconscious for hours every day. Isn't that dangerous?" Sarah laughed. "I guess it could be, but we need sleep to stay healthy." "Don't you sleep?" "Our species enters brief rest states," the alien explained, "but nothing like your sleep." As the day went on, the aliens discovered more and more unique things about human biology. They were shocked by the human immune system, which could adapt to fight new diseases. They were impressed by human endurance and the ability to survive in various environments. But what amazed them most was the human brain. Its ability to learn, adapt, and imagine was beyond anything they had encountered before. "Sarah," Dr. 69 said, his eyes wide with excitement, "your species is extraordinary. The way your bodies and minds work, it's revolutionary." Sarah blushed. "Really? But we're so simple compared to your technology." Dr. 69 shook his head. "No, Sarah, you're not simple at all. You're wonderfully complex. Your biology, your adaptability, your potential, it's unlike anything in the known galaxy." As the day's tests came to an end, Sarah felt a mix of pride and wonder. She had always thought of humans as ordinary, but seeing herself through alien eyes, she realized how special humans really were. "What happens now?" she asked Dr. 69 as they left the lab. The alien scientist's eyes twinkled. "Now we have a lot more to learn. And I think the whole galaxy will be very interested in what we discover about humans." As Sarah walked out with Max, she couldn't help but feel excited. This was just the beginning of humanity's journey into the stars, and based on the aliens' reactions, it was going to be an amazing adventure. Days turned into weeks as the alien scientists continued their study of Sarah. Each day brought new surprises and more questions about human biology. The entire Galactic Science Academy was buzzing with excitement. One morning, Dr. Zix9 burst into Sarah's room, all four of his arms waving excitedly. "Sarah, we've made an incredible discovery." Sarah, who was playing fetch with Max, looked up curiously. "What is it, Dr. Zix9?" The alien scientist's eyes were shining. "It's about your DNA. It's remarkable." He led Sarah to the lab, where other alien scientists were gathered around a large holographic display. The image showed a twisting double helix, human DNA. "Look here," Dr. Zix9 pointed. "Your DNA has an extraordinary ability to repair itself. It's unlike anything we've ever seen." Sarah tilted her head, trying to understand. "Is that unusual?" Another scientist, a tall, thin alien named Dr. Quix, nodded enthusiastically. "Very. Most species we studied have some DNA repair mechanisms, but yours, it's incredibly efficient. It could be why humans have such long lifespans compared to your size and metabolism." As the days passed, more revelations came. The aliens were amazed by the human brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to form new connections and adapt. "It's as if your brains are constantly rewiring themselves," Dr. Zix9 explained. "This could explain why humans are so adaptable and creative." Sarah found herself learning as much as the aliens. She had never thought much about how her body worked, but now she was fascinated. One day, while running on a treadmill for yet another test, Sarah had an idea. "Dr. Zix9, she panted, "have you ever tested how long humans can run?" The alien looked puzzled. "No, we haven't." "Is that important?" Sarah grinned. "You might be surprised. Humans are persistence hunters. We can run for hours." The aliens were skeptical, but they set up the test. To their amazement, Sarah ran for hours, far longer than any alien could. She explained about human endurance and how ancient humans would chase prey until it collapsed from exhaustion. "Extraordinary," Dr. Quix exclaimed. "Your cooling system, sweating, combined with your efficient locomotion and incredible endurance, it's a perfect adaptation for your planet." But it wasn't just physical abilities that amazed the aliens. They were equally fascinated by human emotions and social behaviors. "You form deep bonds with non-related individuals?" an alien researcher asked, watching Sarah play with Max. "Of course," Sarah replied. "That's friendship. Don't you have friends?" The concept was foreign to many alien species. They marveled at how human emotions strengthened social bonds and drove innovation. As weeks turned into months, the aliens began to see how all these unique aspects of human biology worked together. Human adaptability, creativity, endurance, and social bonds had allowed them to thrive on a planet that should have been too challenging. "It's all connected," Dr. Zix9 said one day, his eyes wide with realization. "Your DNA's repair abilities, your brain's plasticity, your physical endurance, your emotional capacity, they all work together to make humans incredibly resilient and adaptable." Sarah felt a surge of pride. She had always thought of humans as pretty ordinary, but seeing herself through alien eyes made her realize how special her species really was. But with this realization came new questions. If humans were so unique and adaptable, how would they fit into the galactic community? Some alien scientists were excited about the potential humans brought, but others seemed worried. Sarah overheard Dr. Quix talking to Dr. Zix9 one day. "Their potential for growth is enormous," Dr. Quix whispered. "But so is their potential for disruption. Are we sure it's safe to introduce them to the galactic community?" Dr. Zix9 looked thoughtful. "We can't keep them isolated forever. They'll reach the stars on their own eventually. Better to guide them and learn from them." As Sarah lay in bed that night, her mind was racing. She had come to the stars to help aliens understand humans. But now she realized she had an even bigger role. She needed to show the galaxy not just what humans were, but what they could be. The journey of discovery was only just beginning. The Grand Assembly Hall of the Galactic Science Academy was packed. Aliens of all shapes and sizes had gathered for what promised to be the most heated scientific debate in centuries. The topic: humans and their place in the galactic community. Sarah sat nervously in the front row, Max curled up at her feet. Dr. Zix9 stood at the podium, ready to present his findings on human biology. Esteemed colleagues, Dr. Zix9 began, his voice echoing through the hall. Our study of human biology has revealed a species unlike any we've encountered before. He went on to explain the unique aspects of human physiology, their adaptable DNA, their endurance, their brain plasticity. The audience listened in rapt attention. In conclusion, Dr. Zix9 said, "I believe humans have great potential. They could bring new ideas and abilities to our galactic community." As soon as he finished, the debate began. Dr. Quix was the first to speak up. "While I agree that humans are fascinating," he said, "I have concerns. Their adaptability and creativity could also make them unpredictable, possibly even dangerous." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Sarah felt her heart sink. Were they afraid of humans? Another scientist, a floating crystal being named Zrix, chimed in. "I disagree. Their adaptability is exactly why we should welcome them. Imagine the advances we could make together." The debate grew more heated. Some aliens argued that humans were too primitive to join the galactic community. Others insisted that humanity's potential was too great to ignore. "They're violent," one scientist shouted. "Their history is full of wars. But they're also capable of great kindness and cooperation," another countered. "Look at how they care for other species, like Sarah's dog." Sarah listened, feeling a mix of pride and worry. She hadn't realized how much was riding on these aliens' opinion of humanity. Suddenly, a small, ancient-looking alien floated to the center of the room. Everyone fell silent. Sarah learned this was Elderxon, one of the oldest and wisest beings in the galaxy. "Friends," Elderxon said, his voice surprisingly strong, "we are asking the wrong questions. It's not about whether humans are dangerous or beneficial. All species have that potential. The real question is, can we learn from each other?" The room was quiet as everyone considered his words. Elderxon continued, "I have studied the data on humans. Yes, they are different. Yes, they could bring great change. But isn't that what science is about? Learning, growing, changing." Dr. Zix9 nodded enthusiastically. "Elderxon is right. Humans have already taught us so much about biology and adaptation. Imagine what else we could learn." The debate took a new turn. Instead of arguing about the dangers or benefits of humans, scientists began discussing the potential for collaboration and mutual learning. "Their problem-solving skills could help us tackle galactic issues," one scientist suggested. "And our technology could help them solve problems on their planet," another added. As the debate continued, Sarah felt a tap on her shoulder. It was Dr. Zix9. "Sarah," he whispered, "would you like to speak? I think hearing from you directly might help." Sarah's eyes widened. Speak in front of all these aliens. But then she looked around the room, at all these beings debating humanity's future, and she knew she had to try. With shaky legs, Sarah walked to the podium. The room fell silent as she began to speak. "Hello," she said, her voice amplified by the translator. "I'm Sarah. I'm human, and I'm just as curious about all of you as you are about me." She took a deep breath and continued, "Humans aren't perfect. We make mistakes. We sometimes fight, but we also create, explore, and love. We're always trying to be better." Sarah looked around the room, making eye contact with as many aliens as she could. "We don't want to disrupt your galactic community. We want to be part of it, to learn from you, and yes, to teach you what we know too. Isn't that what a community is about?" As Sarah finished speaking, the room erupted in a chorus of alien sounds, their version of applause. She had touched something in them, reminded them of the excitement of discovery that had brought them all into science in the first place. The debate was far from over, but as Sarah returned to her seat, she felt hopeful. Whatever the galaxy decided about humans, she had done her best to show them the truth, that humanity, with all its flaws and potential, was ready to reach for the stars. Just as the debate about humanity's place in the galaxy was reaching its peak, alarms blared throughout the Galactic Science Academy. Red lights flashed, and alien scientists rushed about in panic. Sarah, startled by the sudden commotion, looked to Dr. 69 for explanation. The blue alien's eyes were wide with worry. "It's a void storm," he said, his voice trembling. "A rare and extremely dangerous space phenomenon. It's heading straight for our star system." Elder Xon floated to the center of the room, his ancient face grave. "The void storm will be here in 48 hours. If we cannot stop it, it will consume our entire system, including the planet Earth." A hush fell over the crowd. The debate about humans suddenly seemed trivial in the face of this cosmic threat. "But surely you have technology to stop it?" Sarah asked, her heart racing. Dr. Quick shook his head sadly. "Void storms are unlike anything we've encountered. They defy our understanding of physics. Our most advanced technology is useless against them." As the alien scientists descended into despair, Sarah felt a strange calm come over her. She thought about all she had learned about human biology, about their unique ability to adapt and overcome challenges. "Wait," she said, her voice cutting through the panic. "Maybe we can help." All eyes turned to her. Dr. 69 looked puzzled. "Sarah, I appreciate your offer, but this is beyond anything humans have ever faced." Sarah nodded. "You're right, but that's exactly why we might be able to help. You've said it yourself. Humans are adaptable. We think outside the box. Maybe we can see something you've missed." Elder Xon considered her words. The human has a point. Their unique perspective might be valuable. With no other options, the alien scientists agreed to let Sarah join their emergency team. They quickly briefed her on everything they knew about void storms. As Sarah looked at the data, something clicked in her mind. "This energy signature," she said, pointing to a graph. "It reminds me of something." She thought back to her high school physics class, to a lesson about sound waves. What if we treated this like a destructive interference problem? If we could generate an energy wave that's the exact opposite of the void storms? Dr. 69's eyes widened. They could cancel each other out. "Sarah, that's brilliant. We never thought to approach it this way, because our physics doesn't work like that. But it just might work." The next 40 hours were a blur of activity. Alien scientists worked alongside Sarah, combining their advanced technology with her out-of-the-box thinking. They built a massive energy projector, designed to emit a wave that would counteract the void storm. As the deadline approached, tension filled the air. The void storm loomed large in the sky, a swirling mass of darkness that seemed to devour the stars themselves. "Energy projector at full power," Dr. Quicks announced. "Void storm entering range in 3, 2, 1. Another scientist called out. Sarah held her breath as Dr. 69 activated the projector. A beam of pure energy shot out, meeting the edge of the void storm. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. The void storm continued its advance, unstoppable and hungry. Then, slowly at first, but with gathering speed, the storm began to shrink. Where the energy beam met the void, both simply vanished. "It's working," Dr. 69 shouted. "The void storm is collapsing." Cheers erupted throughout the control room. Aliens hugged each other, their tentacles and appendages tangling in joy. Sarah found herself swept up in a four-armed hug by Dr. 69. As the last of the void storm dissipated, leaving the stars twinkling peacefully once more, a profound silence fell over the room. Every alien turned to look at Sarah. Elder Xon floated forward, his ancient eyes twinkling. "Young human," he said, "you have saved not just our world, but your own as well. And in doing so, You have proven beyond any doubt the value that humanity can bring to our galactic community." Sarah blushed, overwhelmed by the gravity of what had just happened. "I just applied what I learned in school," she said modestly. "It was all of us working together that made it possible." Dr. 69 nodded approvingly. "And that, perhaps, is the greatest lesson of all. The combination of our knowledge and technology with human creativity and adaptability. Together, we can achieve the impossible." As the reality of their narrow escape sank in, Sarah realized that everything had changed. Humanity had just taken its first steps into a larger universe, and the galaxy would never be the same. The days following the Void Storm crisis were a whirlwind of activity. News of humanity's role in saving the galaxy spread like wildfire. Alien diplomats from thousands of worlds poured into the Galactic Science Academy, all eager to learn more about these remarkable humans. Sarah found herself at the center of it all. She had gone from being a curiosity to a celebrated hero in a matter of days. It was overwhelming, but she was determined to represent humanity well. One morning, as Sarah was enjoying a quiet moment with Max in the Academy's garden, Dr. 69 approached her with excitement in his eyes. "Sarah," he said, "the Galactic Council has made a decision. They want to formally invite Earth to join the galactic community." Sarah's eyes widened. "Really? That's incredible. But how will this work? Most humans don't even know aliens exist yet." Dr. 69 nodded understandingly. "That's why they're proposing a gradual integration. We'll start by sharing some of our medical and environmental technology. It should help solve many of Earth's problems. In return, we hope to learn more about human creativity and adaptability." Over the next few weeks, Sarah worked closely with the alien scientists to prepare for humanity's introduction to the galaxy. They crafted careful messages, designed to inform without overwhelming. They selected technologies that would benefit Earth without disrupting its natural development. Finally, the day came for Sarah to return to Earth, but she wouldn't be going alone. A delegation of alien diplomats and scientists would accompany her, ready to make first official contact with Earth's leaders. As their ship approached Earth, Sarah felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. How would her fellow humans react? Would they embrace this new future or fear it? The ship landed in a secluded area where world leaders had secretly gathered. As Sarah stepped out, followed by the alien delegation, she saw the awe and wonder on the faces of her fellow humans. It reminded her of how she had felt when she first met Dr. 69 in the park, what seemed like a lifetime ago. "People of Earth," Sarah began, her voice steady despite her nerves, "I bring you greetings from the stars. We are not alone in the universe, and today, we take our place among the galactic community." What followed was a historic meeting. Earth's leaders listened in amazement as the alien diplomats explained the vastness of the galactic civilization and the unique role humanity could play in it. Dr. 69 presented the findings of their study on human biology. "Your adaptability, your creativity, your resilience. These are rare and valuable traits in the galaxy. We have much to learn from each other." The alien scientists demonstrated some of their advanced technology. Clean energy sources, medical devices that could cure diseases thought incurable, environmental restoration techniques. The human leaders were stunned by the possibilities. In return, the humans shared their art, their music, their literature. The aliens were fascinated by human culture, finding in it a vibrancy and diversity they had never encountered before. As the meeting concluded, a sense of hope and excitement filled the air. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, and the future seemed brighter than ever. In the days that followed, the news spread across the globe. There was fear and skepticism at first, but as people saw the benefits of alien technology, cleaner air, cured diseases, and end to energy shortages, hope began to grow. Sarah found herself traveling the world, sharing her experiences and helping people understand their new galactic neighbors. It wasn't always easy, but every time she saw a child look up at the stars with newfound wonder, she knew it was worth it. One evening, As Sarah stood on a hilltop looking up at the star-filled sky, Dr. Zix9 joined her. "What are you thinking?" he asked. Sarah smiled. "I'm thinking about how far we've come and how far we still have to go. It's a big galaxy out there." Dr. Zix9 nodded. "Indeed it is. But I have a feeling that with humans as part of our community, it's about to become a much more interesting place." As they stood there, human and alien side by side, Sarah felt a sense of pride and excitement. Humanity had not only survived its first contact with alien life, it had thrived. The galaxy had been puzzled by human biology, but in the end, it was humanity's spirit that had truly amazed them. The stars no longer seemed distant and unreachable. They were a promise, a new frontier, and humanity, with all its unique qualities, was ready to explore them. The greatest adventure in human history was just beginning.